Welcome to the Madhouse. Today we are here to address a couple of things about Skull and Bones, done by Ubisoft. So, as we all know, Ubisoft has been getting a lot of heat for this game recently because people are crying that this isn't Black Flag sequel. They never advertised it as a sequel to Black Flag. They just are using the basics, really, of the naval combat and the fact that it's pirates from Black Flag. That's it. So you guys need to cut the shit. Stop whining. It's not Black Flag 2. Get over it. And actually play the game outside of the betas. My problem with the game is actually a legitimized issue. And that is being forced to PvP as a solo player. Now, I play both solo and with a couple of friends. So I know both sides of the story on this. But my biggest thing is the legendary map event, Cutthroat. These legendary maps brings you to a port where you find a chest, and in these chests you have the chance of finding level 3 cannons, level 3 guns, level 3 items, and all kinds of stuff. So what ends up happening, a solo player, especially one that hasn't been around since alpha or beta or early access, if they just recently started the game in the last 3 to 4 days, they started with nothing. They didn't get anything carried over to them. And just an FYI, the rumors that they account wiped beta players and alpha players, they didn't. I was part of the beta. I got to Infamy 4 in the beta, and I started at Infamy 4 in the early access. I still have the same character, the same stuff from that time period. So they did not wipe accounts. So with that said, what the biggest problem is we have alpha players and even beta players, but alpha players that played from alpha to beta, from beta to early access to now, that have everything in the game that they can possibly get, the best of the best stuff, all of the stuff from the helm and all that, Scarlock's freaking weapons and shit from his shit. And what they do, because they have nothing else to do, is they wait for that solo player to pick up that legendary map. And they go hunt them down as a team of 3 or more. Usually it's at least one team of 3. It's the same with the helm wages. See, the problem I have with this is that the hostile takeovers for the ports for the Empire have a counterpart that's a co-op solo or, just a PvE event that can give you the ports that you need that you don't already have. So why is it that there's no co-op or PvE counterpart to the other two? You could put a table, play some poker or something against the AI, or maybe even if you want it PvP, make it PvP, but you playing cards or something, playing some kind of card game back in the day, some poker or something that would pertain to the time period, and you wager pieces of 8. The map, the Cutthroat event, really needs to something for the solo and the casual player. Not everybody's here to play PvP. The people that are playing PvP are the people from your previous games like Division and Rainbow Six, and you gotta realize how toxic. You gotta know how toxic the Rainbow Six community is. So why are you forcing PvP and hiding better loot behind PvP, just like you did in Division with the Dark Zone? You have a habit of forcing PvP on the solo player and making it a horrible experience for them. I played Division 1 and 2, and yes, I could get the same stuff in the PvE content and without having to go out in the Dark Zone. Same as with this. We can grind the shit out of the fucking whole campaign and get ourselves the Empire and grind our whole fucking shit for the Empire stuff to get the pieces of 8. They could spend 5,000 on a ship and 2,800 on the blueprint, or more on the blueprint. And then the crafting materials, yeah, we can grind all that, or we can just suck it up and be forced to go 1v3 against a co-op squad or more and get completely stomped on to get the same gear from that chest that we can get from the grind of at least a week's worth of time. Especially if you're just starting off the Empire stuff, it's going to take a while to get enough of the 8 pieces of 8 and then get everything the way you want it before the reset. Right? So why is there no co-op counterpart? Or why is it that you tend to make the most miserable experience possible for the single solo player or even just a casual player? You do realize not a lot of people are wanting PvP, right? That they're not coming from your multiplayer games. Matter of fact, a lot of the people that are even interested in this game is because they played Black Flag and they loved Black Flag. I've been playing multiplayer games for years since GRA 1. No, not even GRA. Ghost Recon 2 was my first... Actually, no. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. Very first ever PlayStation multiplayer online game. And I've seen your failures. And they were some catastrophic failures. And this is heading into the same direction. But it doesn't need to. You know, there's a term for us content creators. It's called viewer retention. Keeping the attention of your viewers, keeping the content fresh, keeping the content good, and, you know, you get what I mean, right? Keeping the viewer interested. Same goes for your games. You're alienating a good chunk of players in this game because a lot of them are coming from a single player game, Black Flag. And cutting them off from having the potential of getting early level 3 tier 3 weapons and stuff for their ship is not a way to keep them around. Like I said, I don't do the maps. I don't do the maps anymore solo. I only do them when I have my friends on and we take turns with whoever turns it in. It doesn't even matter other than the cash that comes from it, because whatever comes out of it, if the player doesn't need it, they got it, we'll pass it around to each other. But the solo player has no chance when you got these guys from the alpha with nothing better to do because they have everything already that they could possibly want. ruining the game for the solo player just trying to get a better piece of gear. So you need to do something about this, Ubisoft. Put some PvE content that can give the same gear that those chests can. Make it balanced, because right now this PvP shit is not balanced. I don't do hostile takeovers anymore. I don't want PvP. I literally have been sitting here grinding my ass off and getting coins and stuff, hoping to get the sandbuck, and then I'm going to have to spend another day or two just to get a blueprint that I want, getting my coins. And that's, God knows what the hell's going on with your freaking seasonal reset. One says 90-something days, the other says within 9 days. It's like, what's going on with that? Yeah, so forced PvP is just about as bad as Call of Duty forcing people to play Warzone and crossplay. You can't play Warzone without being forced to be put in crossplay, with an advantage given to PC players with mouse and keyboard point and click accuracy. So do yourselves a favor. Don't make this another Division. I don't play Division because I know the gear is a lot easier to get in the Dark Zone when I'm playing solo. And I refuse to do PvP just to get better gear. And get rolls on it that are good. But yeah. I feel that you're alienating your solo player. And that's not good, because a lot of people that came from your Assassin's Creed games are solo gamers. Single player gamers. And the only people that are in here that are wanting PvP are people that are coming from Division that do PvP, and that's toxic as fuck. I'm sorry, but Ubisoft, you have created some toxic communities with your multiplayer games. Rainbow Six Siege, the toxic trolls team killing each other, and I used to love that game when I had a clan to play with, but then when the clan fell apart, I stopped playing it because I was getting killed all the time intentionally by teammates. Oh, and let's not mention too your toxic community in For Honor. And your toxic PvP community in Division. Those are the players that are ruining the game for your solo, casual Assassin's Creed fan that just wants to play a fucking pirate game and have the same opportunity to get good gear without having to be forced into a 1v3 PvP match. So do something. Do something. Please. Because you know what's going to happen if you let this go like this. Because you have a tendency of doing that. There's a game, I don't know, Ubisoft, if you remember this game. But it was a nice little PS3 game that revolutionized first-person shooters. It was called MAG. And because of your lack of doing anything for that game, you not only killed the game, but I'm pretty sure you had a hand in the dev team, Zipper Interactive, going under because they stopped doing console games after MAG and went to PC only games. And then shortly after that, the company just shut down because they weren't making money. So, this is supposedly the self-proclaimed first quadruple A game. Where? The only problem I have, the biggest problem I have, not the only, the biggest problem I have is forced PvP for the solo player. It's ridiculous.